Thanks, Tim. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. And I will encourage you to ask questions as you want. Don't feel like you're interrupting. And I am in need of glasses, but I'm going to ask you in the back, hiding, to move up. Otherwise, I'm going to pick on you for questions a lot. And you'll be on tape or video. So first, thank you very much to Superior Supplements for bringing me out here. Adrian, Victoria, Mark, Tim. Where's Molly? Molly. And the girl with the glasses, I forget your name. And thank you very much for the pleasure of being here. It's my first time in Melbourne. And Emily is her name, by the way. And I was making some comparisons between Melbourne and Sydney, and there were two distinctive comparisons. One, people are smoking here more than what I noticed in Sydney. And two, it's a much more relaxed, cool experience. And it's cheaper to park here, too. I was raped in Sydney. So, the search. So some of you from, one of the gentlemen was here, from right near Turkey? Not Turkey, Torquay. I actually have surfed since I was 15, and this is a trademark or a sales mark, the search for waves and for the best surfers since it's so close by. But in my now 36 years in this industry and working in retail stores and working for a bunch of companies and starting some companies, there's always this allure or look or search for something new, something that works, something that will transform a physique or transform performance. And yet typically it becomes a mirage, because once you get up there, oh, where's that water? It's gone. And so I'm sure most of you have experienced in your life, you'll buy a supplement, you're excited as if it's come from the heavens, and it's going to do this or that, and you use it, or you actually may advocate it to a customer, and then a year later, poof, it goes away, or it's no longer in vogue. And think about it, if products really, really worked like they say they do, why would you ever leave it? Why would you ever stop taking it? I'm sure all of you have, or most of you have bought something, or you had something given to you and you liked it at first, but then you stopped using it. And so for me, the search has always been for something that really worked time after time, and ideally had evidence from a university study in humans. So, anybody know who this is? What team? When? Tim, here's your chance.
Oh, from that far, come on.
This is. Oh, bingo! Very impressive. And what year? 1975. Notice they're wearing the actual Hawthorne uniform.
Do you want me to do that for you?
No, it's okay. Now here's this is the same year celebration. I like the Elton John style hat there. And this is the year that AC/DC's album came out. Kind of a local band, at least a different state, a bordering state. And in 1975, I was on a swimming team in high school. I had the exact same case as that. Cool. And this sales rep from a company that's still around, Alistair in California, right near where we are based, sold us on desiccated liver. And back then, in the 70s, desiccated liver, how many people weren't born in the 70s? I bet probably most of you weren't born in the 70s. Desiccated liver was like one of the staples for sports nutrition. Weider magazines, desiccated liver, and yeast, and wheat germ oil. These are the big, hot, performance-enhancing aids of the time. And he told us that when rats were given desiccated liver, they swam 10 times longer. We're like, really? Here's your money. So we bought a bunch of cases, very expensive product. I think it's been discontinued. And I kept that bottle. I think I had two. And through the end of the swimming season, I kept it, the empty bottle, and then I had my dad, I was 15, I couldn't drive, had my dad take me to the local health food store. And I brought the bottle in. I was 5'7", 130 pounds. And I asked for the nutrition expert to help me. What was in this thing that made me swim better? So out comes a woman who maybe weighs 150 kilos, maybe 120, 5 of it being on her face in terms of makeup. And she examined the bottle up and down, and she thought, oh, it probably was the PABA. Now, when I heard that, I go, oh my gosh, PABA. Wow, it's a B vitamin. Ooh, wow. And so back then, you may remember the scene, there was a book by an American author named Adele Davis, Eat Right to Keep Fit, or Eat Right, Let's Eat Right. And all these different things about natural foods and yeast, all these nutrients found in yeast. And PABA later on became a sunscreen used widely across the world, and then it was found to promote skin cancer, so it was removed. So if you look at a B vitamin or a multivitamin now, PABA is almost never there anymore because it was found not to actually be needed in human nutrition. But at that time, PABA was the god for me, and I started working in that health food store within a month. That was my baptism in sports nutrition. And I asked every single question I could think of when I was working there. I pestered the manager and the owners. So fast forward, 85. This is where I went to graduate school, UC Berkeley, across the bay from San Francisco. You'll see the radio tower there where they actually have linked this to breast cancer and women are living around there. Some very cool towers and buildings that are part of the skyline. And that was the view I had from one of the labs that I was working in. And I was studying antioxidants, vitamins E, C, and coenzyme Q10 in rats. I had 120, 180 female rats as my subjects. They got to know me very well, and I put them on vitamin E deficient diets, and they ran and ran and ran. They ran better than when they were vitamin E deficient. I'll get to that in a minute. And so I had Naked Radical because right after I finished grad school, there was a guy in the mid-90s who was at Berkeley, and for an entire year, he went to school every day wearing only shoes and socks, nothing else. And Berkeley is one of the bastions of free speech, and he went to school every day with just shoes on. So I was wondering, what would it be like when he would say hi to a girl and it was really cold outside? A scared turtle. So with that, I also was aspiring to look like these two guys. Miami Vice, this is how I was dressing back then. And then, 20 years later, a study published in a very prestigious journal showed that when you give people that are untrained and trained vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams, and vitamin E, natural form, 400 IUs a day, that the actual ability of the muscles to adapt is reduced. So here, this shows you how well carbs can get into muscle. One of the things that endurance and strength training does is it helps carbs enter into muscle more quickly and then get stored there so it can be used again. And in the group here that had no supplement, they had a significant increase. Here, the addition of antioxidants, there was no increase. There are a couple other studies that support this. So now you think, when I was in grad school, our lab was the first to show that exercise causes free radicals, the things that you take antioxidants for. This study and 2 others have shown that maybe antioxidants are not good for training adaptations, and maybe something like you would find in beet juice, nitrates, which are also used to cure meats, or arginine and citrulline, things that can be converted into a gas our bodies make called nitric oxide, can actually boost over long term the adaptation of training. This is one of the enzymes that actually goes up. This is superoxide dismutase. This is an enzyme that battles against free radicals or pro-oxidants, what you take antioxidants for. That's why they tell you to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, or fruits and vegetables. And the supplement group, there was no improvement or change. So fast forward to 89. I started actually working in a laboratory at UC San Francisco overlooking, again, the bay. And this is from the other side. Berkeley's over here, and I was working right in the lab right here.